Today we're going to be making a hunting knife with some box elder burl. So we just got finished stabilizing a bunch of that, and now we're going to put it on this knife. However, the steel I have doesn't curve that much, and this is what is wanted. So we're going to have to do a little bit of forging and get that curve in there. Then we'll start cutting it out and shaping things up. To start off, we're going to mark where we need to bend it. So right there, we're going to heat up the steel and forge it. Because it's still in a long bar, we don't even have to hit it with the hammer to bend it. We just use the hammer to put it flat again. But gravity will bend it for us. We got a little bit more to go, so we'll keep on forging. But just smack it and let gravity do the bending for you. We got it all drawn up. We're going to have to adjust here just a tiny bit, but we can do that after we cut some of it out. So we're going to cut it out real quick, and then we can start making sure everything's how we want it and start putting the bevels on. There's a few burrs here on the edge, so we're gonna clean those up and then continue to grind out the profile. We got it all shaped up and flattened down pretty good. There's a couple low spots still we'll have to fix a little bit later, but I got it all scribed. We'll put our holes in for the handle, and then we'll start putting in our bevels. Now that the holes are put into the blade, we're going to start with our rough grind of the bevels. We have our carbide plate here to make sure that our plunge lines are nice, and as we're going through the belt grinder, not everything comes out perfect, so we're going to have to file a few things till we get better. Then we'll sand it and heat treat. We're finished up with the sanding and profiling. As you can see, we put in a little recess there in the handle, make it a little bit lighter, as this is a thicker blade. But it looks like we're about ready to move on to the next step. The blade has been tempered and has cooled off so that we can touch it now. So we're going to apply our high temperature furnace cement. And this is going to help us get a hamon. So we'll apply this a little bit on both sides, and yeah, it should leave a nice hamon after our heat treat. So now we're going to heat treat. After my heat treat, I like to put the blade between two straight pieces of steel and clamp it together Just helps that there's not as much warping. This one caused me a little problems where it's curved and didn't quite fit, but it does help as it cools down, keeping it straight. Less warping. So we got the heat treat done. We did our hardness test. It looks hard, so we're going to clean off a bunch of this stuff, and then we'll put it in the temper and then see how it does. You can see kind of the blues and the golds are at the top, so that top part probably isn't hard, and our hamon should have worked. There we go, the knife has been tempered. We also had to heat up the tang, had some warping going on back here, but it didn't affect our heat treat. Got that nice gold going on here on the blade. So we'll sand it up, get it nice and smooth. Then we can start working on making that handle fit. So we've got it most of the way sanded. We'll still do some more because we're only at 300. But you can see some of the hamon when the light hits it right. Now we're going to be putting on our handles. So done it a bunch of times, but essentially we're just going to put some tape here, glue it, and drill it up. Okay, so now we drew up our line so we can cut it out. We got extremely close right there. Barely enough room, hopefully. So now we will cut the handle out and get that shaped up. This is one of the ways that I like to finish my handles. So we put a little mark on there, and essentially we're just creating a bevel all the way around. That's why we sand the handle down to where it matches up with the blade, and this is how we finish it. We got them both looking pretty good. So now we're going to do some sanding, just to polish it up a little bit more, and then we'll sand that top part and buff it, and then we should be able to glue it on. So really quick before we glue everything together, we're going to etch in our little mark there on the blade. So just a little 9-volt battery and some saltwater and alligator clips. That's all you need. And there it is. So nice engraving. Time for the glue up. We got the blade all sharpened and polished up. You can kind of see the hamon in there. We're not gonna pull it out more than that, but you can see it in there. It kind of goes with the texture of the handle. We also put an edge on it with the finished that up with the strop. We'll do a test here in a second, and then we're going to put some oil on the handle and finish it up. So cutting paper I don't think is the best test. I think you can have a dull knife and still cut paper, but it is sharp. How I test it is I shave, so that's how I know that it's the edge that I want on it. There we go. All nice and finished. Got the texture of the wood in the handle, the subtle hamon, and just the nice fit in the hand.